Hey, little one. So, this time around, we're going to read Scooby-Doo Sea Monster Scare by Gail Herman, illustrated by Dundas Del Sur. As you can see behind me, we have Little Wolf here who misses you greatly, and she will be adding her own colorful commentary from time to time. Go ahead and say hi to your brother.
Hi, Daddy.
Speak up.
Hi, Daddy. Come home soon, please.
Yeah, we miss you. Everyone at the library says hi, and they can't wait to meet you. Well, frankly, everyone here just really want to meet you, and hope you get your heart soon. Now, before she starts crying, then I'll start crying, then we'll all start crying. Let's go ahead and start this book. Alright? Here we go. Scooby-Doo Sea Monster Scare. I will try to do voices. I am not good at voices, but you've been warned. I will keep trying to perfect them, though. It's never gonna happen. But, who knows? Alright. It was a perfect day for the beach. Retro, Scooby-Doo said to his friend. Scoob is right, Shaggy said. Surf's up! That was a horrible Shaggy voice. Velma pulled... Oh, almost forgot pictures. What's the use of a picture book if we can't see the pictures? You see Velma, Shaggy, and the gang, Mr. Machine, all hanging out at the beach. Velma pulled a wagon. It was filled with shovels, pails, and flags. I'm ready to make a one-of-a-kind sandcastle, she said. Scooby pulled another wagon. It was filled with sandwiches and pizza, hot dogs, and tons of chips. We're ready for a one-of-a-kind lunch, Shaggy said. In this picture, you see Velma pulling her pails, buckets, everything you need to build castles at the beach, with Scooby hauling a big wagon full of all sorts of picnic baskets. This is a good spot, said Velma. She took everything from the wagon. Then she filled the pails with sand. Fred turned them over, and Daphne lifted them up. This sandcastle will be perfect, said Velma. Mmm. This sandwich is perfect, said Shaggy. You see them building the castle. And then in the background, you see Scooby and Shaggy stuffing their faces full of food. What kind of food do you see there?
See apples, see chips, sandwiches. Looks like there's some apples in the basket. Kind of looks like there's a Lunchable right by Scooby.
Maybe. Alright. So, Scooby and Shaggy ate their way through piles of food. Finally, they burped. We're done, said Shaggy. Us too, said Velma. Shaggy and Scooby looked over their jaws dropped. Holy cow, said Shaggy. The castle had moats, bridges, and winding steps. Flags flew from towers. It is good, Velma agreed. I'm not talking about the castle, said Shaggy. We're out of food. In this page, you see Scooby and them rubbing their bellies after stuffing their faces. Velma, Daphne, and Fred are dusting sand off of themselves. And then in this one, you see Scooby and Shaggy pointing at empty baskets. They look scared and terrified. But in the background, if you look closely, you can see the awesome sandcastle.
Yeah.
Out of food? Daphne laughed. And we didn't have a bite, said Fred. Scooby hung his head. Sorry. Sorry, Shaggy echoed. How about Scoob and I make a food run? There's a snack shack down the beach. Scooby and Shaggy set off. A little while later, they were back. At least they thought they were. They saw the blanket. They saw Velma's book. But that was all. In this picture, you see Scooby and Shaggy kind of grinning and obviously thinking about getting more food. In this one, you see them carrying back buckets full of, looks like hamburgers and other food. Walking back, and you can see Velma's book right there on the ground. Do you see anything else, Lynn?
See people playing volleyball, shaders, person who looks ugly.
That's not nice.
That's the way he looks. That's honestly the way he is. It's ugly.
Zoinks! Said Shaggy. Everyone has disappeared, and so has the sandcastle. All around them, people snatched up blankets. They threw books, bottles of sunscreen, and other things into beach bags, and they rushed away. Something's horrible has happened, cried Shaggy. We need clues. You see Scooby and Shaggy staring at people as they all run away. Scooby gazed out to sea. Look! He gasped. A giant sea serpent rode the waves. That thing did it, said Shaggy. It took the sandcastle and the gang. Shouts ran out across the water. It's getting deeper! It's getting closer! Shaggy cried. Scooby yelped, Run, Raggy! You want to describe this picture?
Sure. So, what you see right here is Scooby and Shaggy is looking confused, and then looks like a bobbing head with a neck and a little lump sticking out.
Something red floating about.
And then you see the sun
on this one.
Then it appears again, and Shaggy and Scooby running, kicking up sand.
The buddies took off. They jumped over people. They scooted around umbrellas. But the sea serpent was close behind. It was coming onto the beach. A surfboard, Scoob! Shaggy shouted. Quick, hop on! This one, you see Scooby looks like he's trying to dig his way out of into the sand, I guess trying to hide, as red sea serpent is getting closer and closer. Shaggy's sitting there, obviously nervous, biting his nails. And on this one, you see Shaggy on a surfboard with Scooby-Doo just kind of staring at him. A moment later, they bounced along the wave. Hang 10, Scoob, Shaggy said. But they couldn't surf fast enough. The monster was closing in. Doo-doo, doo-doo. On this, what do you see?
See, the sea monster kind of has no figure at all. Scooby and Shaggy are on top of each other on a surfboard, and then the waves.
The sea grew rough. Scooby and Shaggy hung on. Wave after wave. Up, down. Up and down. Scooby turned green. Don't lose your lunch, good buddy, Shaggy said. Up, down. Up, down. Shaggy turned green, too.
Well, at least they will feed the fish.
So in this picture, you see Scooby hanging on to Shaggy for dear life as the red sea serpent slowly getting closer. In this one, they both look like they're about to vomit. But they don't look green.
Really?
Well, Shaggy's shirt's green.
So, they do look dizzy. Just like
All at once, a giant wave crashed over them. Shaggy clung to Scooby. Scooby clung to Shaggy. Whoosh! Zoinks! You see them staring up at the wave, obviously scared that they're about to get beat up by the wave. Up, up, up they went. The surfboard went one way. Scooby and Shaggy went the other way. They hung in the air, and then they dropped fast right onto the back of the sea serpent. Splunk. Do you want to describe this?
So what you see is Scooby and Shaggy falling down from the surfboard with the wave right behind. Then on the second page you see Scooby and Shaggy hitting their head on the sea serpent's tail.
Help! Help! They cried. Don't worry, said Velma. We're right here. Scooby spun around. Velma, Fred, and Daphne were on the serpent back too. But we've got to get off, Shaggy screamed. Relax, said Fred. The ride will be over soon. Ride? In this picture, you see what's supposed to be the sea serpent obviously is some type of water ride that the entire gang is on, including three other strangers. In this one, you see Fred sitting there trying to calm Shaggy down. Right? Said Shaggy. The serpent gives rides? It's not a real monster, said Daphne. It's a float. Scooby and Shaggy gazed around. People were laughing and having fun. But, what about the people on the beach? Asked Shaggy. Why did they run away? And what about the sandcastle? I thought a monster wiped it out. Velma gasped. The sandcastle is gone? In this picture, you see them all in the ride. A lot of people laughing and having fun. And then in the other picture, you see them slowly getting closer to the beach. Then she sighed. It must have been the tide. That's what happened with the sandcastles. The tide sweeps them away. And those people, they were only moving away from the water. The monster float stopped with a bump. They were back at their spot at the beach. Forget the sandcastle, said Shaggy. All of our food has been swept away too. This picture, you see Velma slowly explaining everything to the gang like she always does. But in this one, you see Scooby and Shaggy really scared and worried because the boxes of food are gone. Shaggy looks like he's running so quick that he can run on water. He must be really hungry. Rack? Rack? Said Scooby. Snack Shack? Agreed Shaggy. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! And on this last page, you see the gang sitting there staring and laughing with Scooby and Shaggy shaking hands in agreement that they need to go get more food.
Shaggy looks freaked out. Anyways, I love you, Tahiti.
We
Come
miss
home safe.
we miss you very much, and we hope you get a heart soon. That way you can come home. But we'll be back up there soon.
Love you.
you.